Fouquet will kind of limp on over.
I was gonna fly over to Captain Fouquet real quick.
Very well.
Let me. Oh. There we go. No longer elevated. Violet will flutter down and fly over to Captain Fouquet.
Again, we'll slap you on the arm, Gabriel, and goes, "Nice."
Gonna cast one of these for Captain Fouquet.
Very well.
Captain Fouquet, take this healing.
Oh, I forgot the captain almost died.
He goes,
Yeah, he was.
he was getting bodied.
No, he was bodying, and then we mentioned it, and he started getting bodied.
Yeah, y'all hexed him. Edmund Dante's.
Oh my god! Critical nat one.
Edmund Dante's older brother figure was about to perish in front of him.
We mentioned it, and he started getting bodied.
Yeah, y'all hexed him. Edmund Dante's.
Oh my god! Critical nat one.
Edmund Dante's older brother figure was about to perish in front of him.
That's what does it for him.
Punished, Ed.
Fall from grace.
But Captain Fouquet will look and say, "Thank you, Violet. Feeling much better now with your fairy magic." He'll look about the many bodies.
We should probably hurry on. And at least we can go back and grab the others, and then we have to hurry back. We have to hurry.
Aegon points. Others gone.
They're gone? Did they go on ahead?
Aegon shrugs. That will require a survival check. Captain Fouquet says, "Wait. If we go out there, who's to say there was not a contingency up north? The chateau could be under attack. Or worse yet, there could be more soldiers."
But we can't just... I mean, if they taken... Is Nesma, right? Percy?
Nesma.
Yeah. I mean, but if they taken Nesma... I mean, it's your order, sir, but I don't know.
No, I'm currently injured. My gut instinct, in spite of it being currently wounded, is to say, continue. Those two men, they got what they wanted. Or maybe part of what they wanted, as he looks at Adam.
We continue this talk as we're going forward. Let's just hurry back to the chateau.
Edmund says to Fouquet, "Ronto has been slain." Gustave looks at Edmund, nods, and the two of them will, through his injuries, walk up, and they will... Now, this is up to all of you, if you protest this, but they're gonna spend, like, 30 minutes burying Ronso's corpse.
I'm not gonna protest it, but from behind, I'm gonna very loudly just go, "Ah!" No.
Desperate for it.
Oh, we were in a rush. Oh.
It's like even louder because Gabriel's like bellowing voice.
My horse lung.
That. But
Yeah, but siding with Eorans.
haram.
Haram.
And so, Gustave Fouquet will look to all of you once more, as he'll say, "All right, let's march on with the rest of the food train." And they will, obviously not imagined on the battle map, but your characters will hop on the respective train wagons. Not train wagons, the coach wagons.
Yeah.
And ride north. The three remaining ones.
Dude, stop humping the wall.
Whose faces have been boiled as a result of some sort of alchemical mixture used by the defenders. Others, like succumbing to their stab wounds. others having been ruthlessly torn apart by what appears to be some bestial strength. And some of the defenders, Beast's own soldiers, have been riddled with bullet wounds. Others have been torn apart by the cannon shots. And Gabriel, you recognize one devastating injury, grape shot. Someone had attempted to run forward and stop a cannon from firing, and it had shredded them up like... Yeah, essentially. It is the artillery version of a shotgun. Just
I simply would have bobbed and weaved through all of the shots.
grape shot?
Yes.
You would not have.
Who knows?
What if what's that bird that drops babies? I'm trying to remember.
The pelican.
The pelican.
What the fuck?
It scoops it up in its mouth.
Now imagine baby Dexter flying around in a fucking pelican's mouth going goo goo gaga rapist.
No.
Why did he know that word already?
He came out knowing what he hated.
No, the stork. He was hand delivered by a stork, and the stork was like, "Take this baby from me. It is trying to kill me."
Little do we know that stork was actually. Little knew that stork was a rapist.
No, not the stork. Listen, they're not dolphins.
Dolphins will rape you.
Yeah, I think does Dexter hate dolphins?
He's not fond of dolphins.
Not fun.
Okay, he's not fond of them. Alright. We see where the scale is.
Blood forming. And unfortunately, at this point, Violet, whatever magic you could use to save him, he's already 1 foot in on Charon's boat. There's no stopping this at this point. And you all see this. It is the small glimpse of the beast at his peak, but overriding that sense of martial strength is in reality the old man that is underneath that martial prowess. As you can see and smell all around you, the littered corpses of Napoleon's soldiers as well as his own comrades all dying around him, with his elven advisor, Celaro, currently holding him at the moment. And he's just looking up at the winter sky. Man that is underneath that martial prowess. As you can see and smell all around you, the littered corpses of Napoleon's soldiers as well as his own comrades all dying around him, with his elven advisor, Celaro, currently holding him at the moment. And he's just looking up at the winter sky. Violet, you approach. What do you do? How are you feeling? What you saying?
I rush over, and I don't say much except I just look very. Violet looks very gloom. Just very sad. There are tears forming in her eyes.
How about Adam and Gabriel? I'm unfortunately very, very tired, and what powers I can call upon from the Vanya are currently not at my disposal. She look towards the beast and the body, the line of corpses leading up to him. We will have to try in the morning. That is my best estimate.
Adam will follow her eyes and look out to the wider hamlet, and just what a waste of forces. Petty revenge when you're losing, it's terrible.
It is how mighty men fall, Adam, to petty grievances and vengeance. Ekon crosses her arms in a bit of ambivalence.
Well, what now? I mean, and he'll look over to her party over here, and we fail. essentially. And there's... Seems like the beast is not for this world.
Out with the old, and maybe in with the ancient. A new place for our coven. Oh my god, that scared me.
What?
That was my phone. It went blah, blah.
Oh.
Old gods here. Perhaps not at this moment, during the harsh winter, but come spring, whatever women still reside, not just women, but the menfolk reside outside the capital or inside, that they can take them here as the last refugees, or not the last, but certainly one of the larger remnants of the old gods' worshippers. As, of course, Adam, you won't know this, but there will be an attempted revival in the future, especially decades later during the era of capital R romanticism, as men and women feel the call of the old gods. But that needs to be built up in momentum, and Miss Ekholm here feels like she could help start that momentum here in Chambord. Whether or not you are a fan of this idea, I leave it up to you, if you wish to vocalize it or not. I leave it up to you, if you wish to vocalize it or not.
Yeah, I think Adam will reply with... I guess that does sound practical. It's certainly one of the worst times to voice such a want. And looks around at he looks at the Frenchman at his feet. But, well, I suppose if you're someone who makes me, this probably faces you. And he kicks the Frenchman's hand.
It's already, like, somewhat covered in the first layer of, like, frostbite.
It feels better for me, at least. The snow's covering it all, but I can imagine when summer arrives, this place will look quite beautiful. Green. Like myself.
And Ekholm will smile at that. She will pinch your cheek on the draconic, where the draconic side is exposed. I think it would look nice. And perhaps you will be able to speak more freely and without any stress. And you will not have to have your mind isolated in solitude. Nor to have the worm as the only piece of company. And she looks at Nidhogg with a bit of a snoot.
He crosses his arms, looks confident, prideful.
And Ekholm will smile at that. She will pinch your cheek on the draconic, where the draconic side is exposed. I think it would look nice. And perhaps you will be able to speak more freely and without any stress. And you will not have to have your mind isolated in solitude. Nor to have the worm as the only piece of company. And she looks at Nidhogg with a bit of a snoot.
He crosses his arms, looks confident, prideful. Yeah, that'd be nice. It's sounds like the best future I could give myself for now. So I'll go with it for now.
She'll give you a big ol' hug.
You know what? We'll go with that. I'll
Listen, fellas, listen. Who's to say she can't be hauling that like it's a backpack?
What you got in there? Water.
Water.
It's a lot of water. I get thirsty when I'm traveling out in the snow.
Violet be like,
Yeah, she'll
agua.
But Violet will feed the beast some water that she has from her water skin.
He will greedily wash it all down, as he'll hand it back to you. Not really handing it back to you, it's in your general direction. As he appears to not quite meet your gaze, as his eyes wander continuously up to the wintry sky. Servants still. Do not be disheartened by the gifts given to you.
What are we supposed to do? Without you here, how are we supposed to move forward?
Bring me the rose petals. It's in the manor. I would like to carry it before I go see my beloved.
Violet will nod, and as fast as she can go, go get.
Do you inform Gabriel and Adam?
Violet will inform them with message as she is running into the manor because she doesn't want to waste any time.
Let me know.
Where are you going, tiny woman?
Oh my god, this commissioner called me sweetheart. She's 19 years old. Why is she calling me sweetheart?
Yeah, she should be calling you sir.
Call me sir. That's what I prefer to be known as. Nothing else.
Sir Percival. But yeah, no, Adam and Gabrielle, I'm just gonna move your tokens down here because you guys will listen to.
What the fuck? Nidog, no!
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm assuming Nidog will join you.
No, you know what? He starts teabagging the beast.
Damn, the disrespect. I can't believe this is a game of freaking deadlock.
Dude.
Let me do this.
Boo. Boo.
Alright, let me do this.
Go.
So yeah, Violet's gonna open the door and see that. What is that man doing?
That man.
I mean, does Violet stand there and like surprise?
She opens the door and just kind of sees him and just kind of like goes white.
Nidog pipes up.
It looks
American.
The smiling man continues to hit the same facial expression towards you as he turns around and welcomes you all with an open gesture, as if to say this is his.
Is he like sitting in the throne?
No, he's standing. He appears to be looking at the glass-cased rose as inside. That's been situated on atop the fireplace.
It's not too long. We should have known this was gonna happen.
Doing in there?
I'm observing what's happening to this place. Nothing more, nothing less. You did your job real well, Vi. You as well, Mr. Rex. And you as well, my centaur warrior.
Violet will flutter inside.
There should be bodies here. You feel like you sense the smell of death here, but there are no bodies. And once more, the roof has been collapsed. There's clearly a cannonball that's been struck the top of it, but everything below it is still clean and pristine. Go the mountain before the cruel passage of time will force them a great trip and a disastrous fall. You will hold out the glass case with the rose petals and the rose itself, the thorny rose, still inside. They don't bloom. They no longer bloom as they once did when the beast's wife was still alive.
Is he like extending it out to me?
Mm-hmm. It is very large. Not very large. It's about as large as like the Kingdom Hearts one, if you will.
Yeah, I will grab onto the case, making sure not to touch hands with that with the man in front of me.
His hands are also very wrinkled and like a weird brown gray color. be like this warrior here. He does not seem too troubled about the lives he takes, or the destruction he harbors. He would make a fine horseman of the apocalypse, wouldn't you?
I understand why you speak so much when you don't have eyes. We got to give you something today.
Don't need any eyes to know and see what you are.
The door is open. You're free to leave.
Happy winter, fellas. He'll walk, and he will face through the walls.
Good jewel to you. Yeah, yes.
They say Eru will judge those when the end comes. But I understand in your religion, warriors go to a drinking hall in front of their patron god.
That's right. And from what I can see, you fought valiantly. Like a warrior of an age past all of us now. But I'm sure with perhaps more elegance and less savagery.
She's been waiting patiently. God, I wish there was time to say goodbye to my children, but I will have to place this burden on you. He breathes in and out. He closes his eyes. And the last petal withers and dies. The beast of Chambord, Adam of the line of royal kings of the Kingdom of France, dies in the snow here in his village. The Count of Chambord is dead, and a council is born. And so, we will begin our epilogue. We will start with Adam. What is Adam doing during the winter and for the future winters ahead? Or would you like me to give a series of events that does happen before I ask specifically?
Yes, actually, because I think otherwise Adam would just be following Nadia's lead for at least like first half year or something.
Very well.
It's very clueless as to, or well, he knows what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen is bring in more heathens and populate this place once more.
Indeed, is what he was attached to. But one moth represented the calamity of Chambord. The other moth will soon represent the calamity of the French Empire, as Napoleon's forces are devastated not just by this expedition, but by future battles with all of Europe, or Europa. And the second moth, its portents have devastating effects for all across the continent. Two moths, two disastrous ends for two realms. And the smiling man continues to have that uncanny grin traveling across the world. To stay here, whether or not for the short term or the long term, I leave it up to Yusuf. Nidhogg, of course, collecting a number of different books and whatnot that were in the library at the chateau. As heathens come in, a number of them practicing more naturalistic druidic magic, or like primal magic, a witch coven is established here, a little ways away from the main village, just for privacy, and that is just the general request. So the two of you work together, and you probably remain maybe not just distant acquaintances, but maybe somewhat friends, as Sailor Row kind of takes up that more active role, becoming the temporary countess, if you will. So that does lead me to ask, what is Gabriel doing? Does perish. He is killed. You are probably driven off into hiding. But eventually Edmond Dantes will contact you again as the Count of Monte Cristo, as he finds treasure at an island, and contacts you personally, asking for assistance from a great warrior, even in your bit of an older age. At that point, you'd probably be, if you were in your 40s now, probably in your late 50s or early 60s. You would help build up the legend of the Count of Monte Cristo as your own Southern European legend as well. The centaur of the South Isles. Is there anything you would like to add to that, Malik, or anyone else here to your epilogues when he does visit you all, as he does acknowledge you? One account, the other account, completely different initial starting points, both ending up as counts, and Gabriel would probably come back in his late 60s, early 70s, having looked upon an old ragged warrior dying. Gabriel at that point also faces the inevitability of death approaching, and maybe also passes of natural age here in Chambord. I leave that up to you, Malik. But Edmond Dantes as the Count would have returned, met Count Adam, his servant, Violet, who probably would be a lady at this point, a proper lady. And you are still a proper knight, of course. Adam, the two of you, as well as Sailoril and a number of others, would continue your position of power in helping the realm of Chambord. But Edmond Dantes, that flicker of hope and optimism when he comes back as the Count of Monte Cristo, it is gone. And he visits once, Gabriel does perish, buries him, and Edmond Dantes gives you one last farewell before never returning to Chambord. A bit of a bittersweet departure from both warriors there, as Edmond Dantes will continue ruling as the Count of Monte Cristo, as Adam, you continue ruling as the Count of Chambord. And I think that is where we will resolve the campaign of Between Two Beasts.